Good afternoon and welcome to a brand new series here on my YouTube, Annabelle's Adventures. My name is Annabelle. I absolutely love to cook. I cook fresh almost every day, and I want to share a lot of my recipes and recipes that I've taken from the most brilliant cooks and sometimes slightly adapted them. Because I'm not a girl who loves potatoes particularly. Bread, not my thing, and pasta very occasionally, only when I do spaghetti bolognese. The new series, episode 1, welcome to the dinner stories. The very first recipe we're going to do is a very traditional English recipe. You will probably had this when you were younger, growing up. It was a staple recipe. There are a few alterations to it, and you can change things, add things, whatever works for you. Let me tell you what it is. It is shepherd's pie. I have to say straight up, there are no shepherds in this pie, and no shepherds were hurt in the making of this pie. And the other thing is, it's called a pie, but there's no pastry. The recipe I'm working with today is by one of, I believe, our best cooks in the whole of the UK. She has been a cook for such a long time and is such a well-known name. Let me tell you, Delia Smith. Now, the recipe that I'm working with on the Delia Smith online website, here we go, shepherd's pie, showing you even how to make it. Everyone loves a shepherd's pie, but very few people have the time to make it. But it doesn't take a lot to put it together. Let me show you what you need. We need minced beef. We need a carrot. We need onions, tomato puree, Liam Perrins, or that very difficult Worcestershire sauce, that one. A little bit tiny of garlic. Don't like garlic. Tiny sprinkling of cinnamon, salt and pepper. I'm going to be having green beans and broccoli with it. Now, the difference for my topping is going to be probably different to yours. You may do mashed potato. You can do mashed sweet potato, carrot and sweet. There are so many variations for toppings. I'm doing mashed cauliflower. First job, chop your onion. Right. 1 onion chopped. I'm not a great garlic girl, so I have it in the jar, and I just add possibly the smallest amount you could do, but without it, it doesn't taste quite right, a bit like when I do with spaghetti bolognese. So give that a stir and get the onions just cooking down till they're really soft. Let me tell you a story. Many years ago, I was arriving back at an airport hotel here in the UK. I arrived very early morning, around the 2 o'clock. Plane was full, lots of people at the airport, and I was staying locally, literally the airport next to the hotel. There was a lot of us checking in, had to stand there for quite a long time. In front of me was a gent I'd seen on my plane, funny enough. He was taking quite a while to check in. There was quite a larger group. So you were stood there for about 20 minutes. The said gentleman in front of me went off with his key card in hand, and I was just about to go up to the desk and they suddenly disappeared into the back. I stood there for another 5 or 10 minutes waiting for them, and then they came back, which was great. So we started the check-in process. She gave me a key with the room number on, and off I trotted to the lift. Add carrots to onions. Let sweat down until they're cooked. I went up in the lift, sort of struggled to the door with my case, put the key card against the door, and the door pinged and opened. Grabbed said case, jiggled into the doorway, as usually you have to, carrying bag, case and struggling to get in. Turned the corner from the door, only to find a gentleman sat on the bed in a dressing gown. It was the same gentleman from downstairs who had been in front of me. He said, "I've just ordered room service, but if I'd realised the menu had got these offers on, I would have read it in more detail." Good job, he'd got a sense of humour. I apologised most profusely and slowly backed out of the room, back down to reception. So I make my way back downstairs to reception and explain the little issue. They were mortified, let me tell you. She couldn't sort the problem out quick enough, told me they'd upgraded me to a suite. I wasn't really bothered. I was leaving in 6 hours. And they gave me a lovely glass of wine to help me on my way. We need a very large knob of butter. We need a good amount of seasoning of black pepper and salt. And then we mash. A strong cheddar for it to go in mash. Good evening. Well, I could not dress up for dinner, could I? We've got shepherd's pie, we've got green beans and broccoli, and a gin. Are you ready for dinner? I do hope you've enjoyed the very first episode of The Dinner Stories. I'll see you soon. Bye for now.